Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys possibly a very long recap of Shingeki no Kyojin, or you could call it Attack on Titan on chapter 116. Yeah, talk about this chapter right here. Looked really simple, but I guess there's a lot more detail coming about depending how you even look at it. Next chapter, dang, already there, huh? So if anything else, let's just get this started. We add to it that Pieck is pointing her pistol or gun at Eren and tells Gabby, get the rifle and point it at Eren. You got it? And we see to it that Pieck tells Eren, get your hands out of your pocket. And Eren's like, okay, what happens if I don't? And Pieck threatens him by saying, I'll splatter your brains on the floor is what I'm going to do. And Eren's like, well, how can you haven't shoot me yet? I mean, what happens if I just leave my hands in my pockets? And I know you won't shoot because you aren't permitted to kill the Founding Titan yet, aren't you? I mean, your orders are to make sure to recapture the Founding Titan no matter what. And if you disobey the orders, you and your family will receive a harsh punishment. And Gabby was very close to actually shooting Eren, but Pieck tells Gabby, remove your finger from that trigger. And we see to it that Gabby does so reluctantly, and we see to it that Eren reminds Pieck if you pay you're gonna pay the bill if you freaking kill me off right here and now, and your family in the internment zone will also share that punishment with you. And Pieck tells Eren the truth, like, I can't shoot you. It's definitely impossible for me to eat you either. And of course, you found the footprints that my Titan left behind when I invaded, right? I wanted to try and conceal myself before you made a move, and I was glad I was able to come all the way over here. And therefore, Pieck says this. There's another reason why I couldn't shoot you. If you were to use the Founding Titan ability's power, I thought you might be able to defeat Marley. And we go to a scene where Connie and the others, such as Mikasa, Armin, John, and everyone else is locked up in the dungeon right now. And we see to it that Connie asked a couple questions of what happened, you know? He even asked Armin, hey, can't you use your power to blast us out of here? But Armin's like, no, I'm not going to blast the whole city when everyone else is at risk. That's not something I can't do, which requires much dexterity. Unlike Eren, he doesn't care. And John therefore asks Armin, why did you get your butt beaten by Eren? Can you talk about that? And Armin tells everyone, that's because Eren says some hurtful things to Mikasa, and I try to fight back, you know? And John's like, what did he say to hurt Mikasa? Armin was about to get into that, but Mikasa says, no, just leave it. It's over. And John's like, no, it's not fine for you to not talk about it. Tell us how he hurt you. And Connie's like, that's enough, John. Eren is beyond saving, and he's gone out of control. He already lost himself to that point. John, on the other hand, says, I'm pretty sure he's still sane. I don't think he'd say something without any reason to do so. I mean, somehow aren't his real intentions somewhere in there? And we see to it that Yelena ends up seeing Connie and the others in the dungeon, and Connie asks one of the freaking Oyokapoyan, whatever his long name is, to get him out of there. But he goes like, nope, I can't do that, you know? Just stay here and stay quiet. And we see to it that John asks Yelena a couple questions, after you have Eren work for Zeke, have him attack Marley, and then getting support from the citizens of the nation of Eldia, you gain a lot of support and something about spinal fluids. What is your freaking goal right now, huh? What was the reason why the volunteers came here on this island? And of course, we had to that one of the guys who, like Sasha, tries to have has a question so y'all can live a good life or something. And Grior, which apparently ends up mocking the guy for actually caring for Sasha and her family. They're nothing more than devils, you know? I don't know why the hell you had to be so soft on these guys. And of course this upsets the guy so much that he wants to kill him, you know? And we see to it that the guy says, either way, you guys are nothing more than filthy descendant of the devils. But before he could finish his sentence, Yelena just shot him in the head, killing him instantly. And Yelena's like, I apologize for his rude behavior. those who call you devils on the any filthy maggots who call you devils are no longer needed on this island. And you have to believe what I have to say. Our real objective is nothing more than meaningless as vengeance against Marley. We want to break the cycle of hatred in this world so that Marley and Elia can be saved. That is our true goal. Without hiding anything, I shall explain it all to you. Everything. Zeke's secret measures to save the world and the euthanasia plan that in its entirety. And we see to it that the scene gets switched off to Piek, Eren, and Gabby right now. And of course, Piek asks for cooperation with Eren, of course. And we see to it that like Eren asks Piek like, "What is it that you want, huh? I want to know what the hell you want." And of course, Piek says, "Well, I want the liberation of all Eldians. You know, I want them all to be free from Marley and the rest of the world. I want to free my family from internment zone." And she explains how like how she became a warrior to like help her father any way she could, but apparently because of that, like even if she became a warrior, her father's medical bills and everything else is not really going so well. And I want Marley to be crushed, and if you kill all the Marleyans, I would do what you say. And Gabby's like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, what purpose have we fought till now? I mean, wasn't there good Eldians to be acknowledged by the world? Like someday Eldia will be free? Are you the same as Zeke? Are you a traitor? And Piek asks Gabby a couple questions. What are we? Marleyans? Eldians? What do you think? And Gabby tries to go like, we are honorary Marleyans. But Piek tells Gabby, I don't think you understand. We are subjects of Ymir. That is the inescapable truth. No matter which name we give ourselves, we are a race of people who can turn into titans. Not to mention, as you saw in Fort Slava, sooner or later the power of the titans will no longer be effective. In other words, we'll run out of use for Marley one day and they'll kill all of us. Even if you keep proving that you are a good Eldian, the day of liberation will never come. We have no choice but to claim our rights with our own power. Even Piek tries to convince Gabby, like, we have no choice. I mean, like, look at us. We're just subjects of Ymir, and eventually the power of the Titans will run out, and we're all going to be dead. We'll never be liberated. And Eren threatens Piek, like, prove it. If you are willing to cooperate or collaborate with me, show me some kind of proof. Even Eren injures his finger to a point that he's going to transform into a Titan, you know? And we see to it that Piek tells Eren, like, I will tell you where my comrades are, located in the city. And Eren's like, how would you do that? And Piek says, we go to the rooftop of this building. I could point them out to you immediately. And Eren's like, okay, fine, no problem. And going back to the scene of the jail cell after Yelena explained everything to Armin and everyone else, Armin's like, you serious? Children will no longer be born? And Yelena's like, yeah, that's right. The aim is to get rid of the world of the suffering resulted from the existence of Titans, slowly and peacefully. And John's like, hold up. Give me a second. How's that even peaceful? If the subjects of Ymir disappear, the population keeps decreasing. In its final years, the only survivors in the country will be feeble old people, right? I mean, how can we protect the country in a situation like that? You think the other countries would just leave us alone? Everyone's been asking these questions. And Yelena explains like, yeah, as for that, it's going to be exactly like it's been up until now. For us to be able to use the rumbling as a deterrent. It will be essential to maintain the succession of the founder and the royal family. Luckily, the Queen Historia has been blessed with a successor, you know? You know, if that child lived out the rest of their days, several subjects of Ymir inherit the founding titan, then everything would be perfect is what you're trying to say. Like, with the help of Historia's baby and etc. You think this is going to work? And Yelena explains to Jean, like, perfection, absoluteness, things like that don't exist in any country. Each and every country carries their own distinct problems. However, one thing is certain. An enormous threat that Titans represent, the history of blood and tears, the people who can put an end to this all do exist. Yelena also explains that to Zeke and Eren, I do not know how many thousands of years of hidden history will be going, but will the people who can accomplish such a feat after that, I wonder what can happen. Yelena also explained that the two brothers Zeke and Eren will be symbols passed down for the next millennia, and just like the gods of ancient times. I mean, and then even after death, the two of them will become the sun that shines on humanity as their saviors. Iron Man cries at the notion of this, knowing that I'm actually moved to see how you guys are gonna do this, you know. And we see to it that Yelena's like, I'm very happy you actually understood, you know, etc. And we see to it that one of the subordinates of Yelena says, "Hey, come immediately. We have an intruder. An enemy has intruded into our base, and a man has been killed. It's the holder of the cart titan, and everyone's getting ready. As for Falco and the others, they're like jailed up right now, trying to figure out what's the next move, what's the next option." And we see to it that Pieck asks Eren, "Hey, are you sure that I become your ally?" And we see to it that Eren's like, "Look, you point out where the other intruders are, then if you can point out to where the other intruders are, you are to be chained to that Marleyan brat. If you're foolish enough to try and shift, that child will be beaten to a pulp." And we see to it that Pieck says, "Oh, don't worry, this child too will understand very soon, you know?" And we see to it that Gabby asks where Falco is, but Eren says Falco is here. However, he ended up ingesting some of Zeke's spinal fluid. Even Pieck can only stare in possible shock right now and ask, "What do you mean?" And Eren's like, "Well, who knows? They say he got some wine containing the spinal fluid into his mouth." And Gabby, feeling remorseful of this, going like, "Oh man, this isn't good. This is all because of me, you know?" And we see to it that that Pieck says, "I see, with Zeke's spinal fluid, you controlled an army. Do you know why Zeke's got that special ability?" But Eren's like, "I don't know. Do you know why?" But Pieck's like, "Nope, I don't. Except Zeke only knows it. So it's been 4 years and I'm certain of it, that he wanted to save you. I understand you. I want you to trust me. Someday I will save you. If he doesn't lie in front of you like that, wouldn't he have told the secret of the spinal fluid who else had the other ability as well? For example, that secret, has it got anything to do with using the power of the founding titan or something like that?" And we see to it that they reach the rooftop, and of course Yelena says, "Hey, Yelena," and Pieck says, "Hey, Yelena, what's up? I actually missed the part that you actually had a beard, you know? It actually suits you well." Yelena tells Eren, "You know, this woman's pretty dangerous." And of course Eren's like, "I know. I don't trust her just like she doesn't trust me, but I'm going to keep an eye on some things." So they reach the rooftop, etc. And we see to it that Pieck asks a couple of questions to Eren, like, "You still aren't using the power of the founding titan? Where's Zeke?" And Eren's like, "That's something you will soon know enough. That is, if you could show me where the location of your allies are. And where is the enemy?" Even right now, Eren is actually ready to transform, knowing that this is going to be very dangerous. And Pieck turns around, holds Gabby's hand, and smiles at her, and points at Eren and says, "There, the enemy is right there." All of a sudden, Pieck ends up grabbing Gabby to take cover, and Eren is being ambushed by the Jaw Titan, which is Gallard or Porco, the freaking Jaw Titan user. Eren barely escapes with both of his legs chomped off, and in anger, Eren transforms into his Titan form and gets ready for battle. And Galliard ends up blocking the debris for Pieck and Gabby, and we see to it that Pieck realizes, yep, this is gonna be difficult after all. And we see to it that Gabby says, "Pieck, didn't you betray us?" And we see to it that Pieck asks Gabby, "Do you really think I'd sell out my allies or something?" And Gabby's like, "But even if you work for Marley, I'm telling you, there's no future for us." But Pieck says, "Look up into the sky." And we see to it that we have some aircrafts floating over where Pieck is at, and we see to it that Pieck tells Gabby, "I don't trust Marley. I wish for the liberation of the Eldians." And we see to it, "I trust my comrades that I fought together for a very long time." And we see to it that Reiner, along with Falco's brother and many other people, shows up and says, "There's the signal. Pieck and Gallard have revealed his position. It's the founding titan." And Eren can only look up in the balloon while Reiner stares down at him, and it's time to carry out their revenge on Liberio and end this once and for all. And in order to reclaim justice, they destroy the evil. Yeah, talk about this chapter being very simple. All I could say to you guys is that Pieck ends up having a talk with Eren, feigned allegiance or faked her cooperation with Eren, and tries to get him killed. Of course, when it comes to Connie and the others being in the jail cell, Yelena explained what is Zeke's plan and everything else, and they were all shocked about that, and Armin was moved by this, which we don't really know if that's fake or not. And you know, the chapter ends off with Eren almost gotten eaten, losing both of his legs, but transforms into his Titan and ends up getting ready to fight Marley, who has aircrafts over him, along with where everyone else is. So, Reiner also shows up and gets ready to clash, possibly. One thing for sure, whatever the case may be, people are making the bets that Eren's going to win this fight. Yeah, I could make that bet too, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I mean, like, Eren might have the Founding Titan, the Warhammer Titan, and the Attack Titan, but that doesn't mean he could be very invincible. I mean, Marley has a bunch of things up their sleeves, possibly. I don't know what is it that they have, but one thing was sure, Zeke, if he sees this, he better show up, man. I mean, it's not looking so good for the time being, but we'll have to find out. Anyways, this chapter is very simple. Pieck ends up having to trick Eren and tries to get him killed, but it fails, and Eren transforms. As for everyone else, such as Mikasa, Connie, and Armin, they are given information from Yelena explaining everything to what Zeke's plan is of euthanasia or something, you know, etc. So, I really don't know how this is going to work out for Eren, but I guess we'll have to find out soon enough. Sorry for the long recap and if my video becomes a little bit deteriorated, but yeah. One thing for sure, the fight is just beginning and we might be reaching the end soon. Guess we'll have to find out. So until then, I will see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!